Previously on Sea Monsters.
I will go carry out Luna 5. I'll be back in but a moment. Right, that was a much easier mission than the first time we did it. So we have finished Lunar Impactor Crewed. I think that is the second of 3. We've got a little bit of science, we've got some money, so we can bin that. Wonderful. We've got an upgrade point as well, which we'll stick in R&D because why not? We've got tech. Let's see how we're doing. We have finished. While that was going on, we actually finished. Because of course it took like 4 days to get to the moon, or 3 days to get to the moon, whatever it was. I think it was quicker than that actually, I'd have to check. So we finished that. We've started on the next bit of tech. So let us go have a look at what we can build. Right, here we are in the VAB. We have, we're going to call this the Icarus. This pod is going to be the Icarus. It is the Mercury pod, and I did debate whether we would use the Mark 1 pod, whether we use the Vostok and things like that. I'm going to go for the Mercury because I've never actually used the Mercury in the way that it's sort of intended. And then below it here, I have taken the Javelin 2 because it's going to be our little test craft for the first attempt. And now, of course, the Javelin 2 uses conventional tanking. It's not at all operated. I think it's, what are we on? Yeah, it's still aluminium tanks, I believe. It does give us a huge max thrust to weight ratio, but it also gives us a big delta V and a big burn time. So we're going to check this now. So let's have a look. And interesting, this is sort of homologous to the Redstone. In fact, I believe this is the Redstone engine, just thinking about it. We could uprate it a bit. What's that one give us? 140. Let's say for 5,000 more, I could actually go for a 2-minute burn, which would be much more gentle, and for that there, that's almost 2.5 minutes. So let's do that. Let's uprate that. Okay, it's cost us 5,000, but that's nothing compared to what we've got, and I think it's just going to make it a nicer ride for our crew. Let's get this up here, so we can actually burn this for longer now. We could actually, what I'm actually tempted to do is, we built this with 2 tanks. We'll just stick another tank in, and that will give us a nice easier launch profile. I think, there we go. So sea level thrust 1.2, max thrust to weight has dropped a lot, and we've got a bit more stuff there to do. We could actually empty one of the tanks out if we really wanted to. We wanted to play around with it. So next step, pull that to one side. In fact, we'll save that now because these are the bits that we want to keep, but it's not how we want to launch it. So there we go. Right, next step. What is the controllability of that Mercury capsule? What does it actually control? It is able to control, what's its avionics? Where's its avionics at? Let's have a look. It is that there. It doesn't say it's got any avionics. That's interesting. Where is the avionics for me? Habitat, radiation. Oh, here we are. Part allows control for a vessel up to 1.5 tons, can be disabled to lower wattage. Okay. But you can't actually disable it when there's somebody inside it, so that's going to be a problem. So we're going to have to put an avionics unit on this. Now I wonder if we could just steal it from, I'm going to steal it from the Javelin. I wonder if the Javelins would fit. Let's open Pathfinder. Let's have a look. We could actually just use a Pathfinder rocket, but I'm trying to cut the time down. I think the Pathfinder would take about 100 odd days to build. There we go. Oh, Pathfinder is upside down. That's interesting. There we go. Right. I'm going to take this bit here. I don't think that's going to fit at all, but we'll have a look at it. Oh, that's much bigger, isn't it? Yeah, that's much bigger. So I think we can agree that Pathfinders, we can't steal it. We can't steal Pathfinder, so we're going to have to put a new avionics unit on. But this did have an avionics unit with it, so we'll see. Right, let's look at the capsule first. So what do we need? We need some sort of. In fact, you know what? Let's just do a search for Mercury. That would help. All right, here we go. So we've got inline block. Don't want that. Mercury Atlas adapter. Oh, is that the one that goes? Doesn't really look much like an adapter, does it? That looks more like the Redstone, but okay. What's that? Mercury Redstone adapter. Oh, that's what we want. Yeah. So we need, let's see, decam. The nose cap for Mercury capsule U includes the drogue chute and the main antenna. It is an attached node for an stimulus. Okay. Landing and control module. This part contains 4-way RCS thrusters to help orient the Mercury capsule and the main parachute. Okay, so we need that. Okay. And then what else do we need? Launch escape system. Probably need one of those. Maybe. We want this. Does this go on here? I'm guessing it does. Right, so that's the top bit. That's that bit. And that's the RCS on that. Okay. What's in here? Do we have any fuel? Any fuel? Oh, we can go white. Oh, let's do white. Can we go white? Oh no, that's horrible. Is that that's the Von Braun version where you have no windows? Let's go white for that as well. Can we do white on this? Can we do white on all of it? Oh, that's interesting. Right. Okay, so where's the RCS on this? So this has RCS. It just doesn't have any fuel in it. Is that right? There is no fuel on board? That's interesting. Requires. This part contains a 4-way RCS thruster. So is there fuel on this? Is there RCS fuel on this? There is RCS fuel on this. Helium and HTP. Okay, so that's that bit there. Okay. I can deal with that. That's the drogue, that's good. Okay, so I've never actually used the Mercury system before. So we've got the parachute on the top. Wonderful, that'll go first. Let's have a look. Can I, this one's gonna go first. So 5, arm parachute. And arm parachute. And it doesn't tell me anything else about it. Now that's interesting. I may actually just go and sim this before we finish building it. So we'll build it and then I may sim it in between episodes just to make sure that the real shoots is going to play nicely with that. Because I have a horrible feeling it won't, but we'll see. And then of course we need this thing on top. Does that just sit on there like so? There it goes. That's our escape tower. Do we really want that? Is that going to add weight? Well, how much does that weigh now? 1.4 tons. Okay, that's getting up there in mass. I don't want an escape tower. I don't need an escape tower. The crew's fine. Worst comes to worst, they bail out or something. Retro pack. I need a heat shield of some sort, I'm guessing. Is there a heat shield? Mercury heat shield. Perfect. We'll have that. There's my Mercury heat shield. Will this work on there, actually? That's a good point. Will this just sit like so? That looks horrible. Ugh. Right, get rid of that. So we need ourselves a little. Ooh, I know what we'll do. We'll do a little mesh sort of decoupler. That'll be cool. Coupling. This is very Russian style decoupler. There we go. Right. So let's have a look. We want this to be a diameter of whatever this is. This is 1.75. So we're going to go 1.75 to about that. Oh, there we go. And what we could do is we can put our avionics in there. Brilliant, superb idea, sea monsters. You're a genius. That looks actually horrible, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to pull this up a little bit, just like so. Oh, there we go. So this is just a hopper. This thing is not aiming to do much. Yeah, that's all this is. This is just the test. This is the test to make sure that we can actually go up and not die. So let's check what our staging is. We've got our engine first, then we're gonna have our decouple there, then we're gonna have this is going to decouple. There we go. Wow, that has gone up a lot. Oh, because we put extra fuel on, haven't we? So what we need to do is actually probably empty the tanks a bit and give ourselves about 2 minutes. There we go, that's better. Gives us a bit of thrust. And it's dropped that max thrust down as well, which is good. We didn't want that too high. This is basically going to start to curve a little bit, but we're going to try and just get over about 150. We want to go over the Kármán line, basically. It's going to be very much a creation of the Redstone series of rockets with a horrible paint job. Absolutely horrible. Also, we can, while I'm thinking, we can actually move this down because that looks a bit cheaty being so far up. There we go. We should really have an access arm to put the person into here, so we'll get that as well. But first, we need to put some avionics. We've talked about this already, avionics. So where's the avionics? Here we are. Superb. Thank you very much. Here we go. I wonder whether it is these. I do think these decouplers are a bit glitchy, but not in a normal way. They're sort of. I wonder if I need to check versioning. So near Earth, we put what? Put 1,000 on because I can. And controllable mass. What did we say that was? That would actually be helpful. You know what? Make the controllable mass 60 tons because that's how much the pad is. Whoa, that's huge. And I don't mind the extra mass. So what actually is the mass of this now? 25. You know what? Don't make it 60 tons. Make it 30. There we go. 30 of that. Apply that. Much better. All right, and we're going to actually make an interesting shape. It's going to cost us money to tool it, but you know what? It's for our crew. It's it's important. So we're going to go smooth cone, top to 0. Thank you. No, I don't want that. I want the bottom to about 1.5. And now we'll take the top to 0. There we go. Right, and then we're going to take this and we're going to edit it. So it's going to go back to 0. This is going to be 1,000, and this is going to be 30 tons. And we're going to apply that, and there we go. I think that's too much, but we'll have a look. Right, so next step, pull that up until it's in there nicely. Let's do that. Is that good? Right, it's sat nicely. However, this is now needs to be bigger. And there we go. We just make this a little bigger. So they just tap, 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 tap. There, perfect. Oh, perfect, beautiful. Right, can I get the... I need to take this off here, and we need to change this because it's absolutely horrible. So we're going to change that to there, do that to that, and then we'll do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to beautify this off camera, and I will run a quick test to make sure whether... In fact, no, you know what? No. If we lose a crew member, we lose a crew member. Stop being just, rubbish sea monsters. So I'm going to beautify this, and then we're going to look at building it. So I'll get back to you when I finish beautifying it and we're ready to tool it and send it out. Right, so I have finished painting the craft, as it were, and I'm just checking through this. So we have parachutes will be activated on 5. Okay, we have, or armed on 5. We've got that decoupler, we've got the RCS system. RCS, that's like saying reaction control RCS system. It makes no sense. We're going to move that down just so I remember that that's actually available, so we can do orientation control. Okay, I think we're ready. We're going to tool it. What's the tooling going to save us is the question, so let's do that. Tooling will save us 100 days. Wow, because the avionics. The avionics is going to cost us 2,000. That's not a big expense. So that's taking us to 118 days. I think if we put that onto a Javelin 3, this thing would be significantly more expensive. So for our first little test launch, I think this is a good idea. Right. So we're going to save that. We're going to put it in the build queue. We're going to put 2 in, actually. We'll put 1 and 2 just in case. And then let's get back to the Space Center, as it were. We have 118 days to wait. We've got that lunar orbiter coming in 400 days, so that's not a big problem. I mean, we could actually we could actually put a second lunar orbiter together because we've got 80 days on that. Pathfinder 3, we're just going to sit in the background there. I am going to spend some upgrade points on actually VAB. I think we've gone up to 83 on R&D. We're going to spend just a little bit on the VAB just to bring it back up a little bit, because we've not really spent much on it. We've currently got an upgrade going in on it, and this will assist it quite a bit, I believe, in doing that upgrade. So let's have a look. What's that done for us? So yeah, there we go. We've got that. The vehicle assembly building is now only going to be 420 days. I think it was going to be about 500 when we last looked. So it's cut into that. The launch pad is going to be less than a year now. And this build time has come down as well, so it's getting a bit better. When this VAB finishes, we're going to have a second row. We can put some points into there for basically half price. You get double impact from every point. So then we'll get a second construction run in, and that'll be really good. That'll be good for us with interplanetary stuff and going to the moon and things like that. Right, I'm going to warp forward. We're going to launch this thing and then we'll end the episode once we've launched it. So let's get going. We have finished construction, and I realised because it's under 60 tons, we can actually roll it out onto the smaller pad, which will save us, let's see, that would take it 1 day 14. This would take it 2 days. So it saves us half a day rolling out. So we'll do that. Saves us a bit of money as well. Also, while we finished, while we were going on, some tech finished, so I can now upgrade this for 50,000. Right. And we need to get this going, so let's roll that out. Okay, there we are. And then we need to launch it now. Who are we going to put in here? We've got Regina. I think Regina for first flight would probably be stepping back a little bit. Although she's very courageous. I actually hate to say this. I think Evgeny? Is that Yevgeny? I don't know. I don't even know how you pronounce that. You're going to be Krasnova. Krasnova is going to go in it. That's who we're choosing, yeah. We're happy with tanks. I don't want to fill them because I'm pretty sure that we actually half emptied some, but I think we did that by utilage. So we're just going to go for launch. Right, we are here on the launch pad. Let's just get everything lined up. Surface, good. So the aim of this is not to get into orbit. We don't have the delta V for that. Interesting. Oh. So the capsule, we had 0 oxygen and everything else in it. That's interesting. So it's now filling it up. So let's wait for that. So while that's filling up, we'll just put that over there now. Let's have a look. Do I need to do anything like... Oh, extend periscope. That sounds fun. Where's the periscope? Retract periscope. Don't need that. Activation toggles. Controls roll. Oh, the RCS controls purely the roll. That's interesting. Let's have a look. What else do we know? Hide activation toggles. What else do I need to look at? Control 1.5 tons, that's fine. I think everything is good. We've got all these waiting to go. I think we're ready to go. So, the aim is not to get into orbit. We want to get at least over 100. Ideally, I want to go over 140. I'd like to touch space, as it were, but we'll see. So there we go. Engines go. We're going. So are we ready? Krasnova. We're calling you Krasnova. I forgot that. Right. We're going to start turning ever so gently now, just slowly. This engine should have more than enough fuel to get it there. It's whether it actually survives that long, because I've just realized we uprated it. We upgraded the engine, but we haven't actually run the engine before, so it may work out that it was a better idea to have just built a Javelin 3 and not messed around with this. But you know what? I like the idea of it being a little bit of a, in our space program, being homologous to the Redstone. It's definitely homologous to the Redstone for us, so I quite like that. We're going to be heading down to about 45. I want to be at least at 45 when we finish. I'd like to be further across, actually. The more horizontal speed we can get, the quicker, the sort of more gentle this craft will come down. We also want to decouple this when we're sort of probably out the atmosphere or heading out the atmosphere, when we're in the upper atmosphere, because I want less impact from that. I want more impact from that decoupling. I need these two things separated quite significantly, because this is going to potentially interact with this on return, and I don't want that to happen. I want it to be very separate. Right, we can actually arm our parachutes now. We'll do that just in case. So we're going up. We're about 50 kilometers on apoapsis now. We're almost at 4G. It's starting to climb quite considerably. We're getting up to even more now. We're up to 80, 90 kilometers. We're going to turn over 100, and we're getting ready to cut the engines. And we're going to go over 140. I'm going to aim for 150 and then cut. There we go. 150, we've cut the engines. We're now on the glide. So now the question will be, what's going to happen with this? Is it stable? Is it stable? Has it got enough on the top here? I suppose what we could do, and now has that got preferential? Oh, that's interesting. We could actually be cheaty and just have gone, you know what, we should just move those into there, but I'm not going to do that. When we get out of the atmosphere, I think I am going to be looking to do that decoupling, and hopefully that'll just separate the two of them out nicely for the return. So we're over the Karma line. We have, I believe, completed that mission. Krasnova is the first crew person to be above the Kármán line. Is she going to be the first member of crew to be into what we're considering space? Obviously, you know, if you're Jeff Bezos or someone like that, 100 kilometers is space, but not for us. So I can't remember what they actually classified it as. It changes depending on who you talk to. Right, we are there. We are done. So let's decouple. Yes, that's a nice clean decoupling there. That's good. All right, we're going to turn this off. Good. We're now into space. We're running experiments. We've got crew report going on. That's cool. We've got pressure controller is running. Non-regenerative scrubber is running. What is my time like? Actually, we can do a little test. We can see what this says about the Icarus. Let's have a look. Info. So we have lithium for 2 days. Oh, that's interesting. We have oxygen. We have electric charge for a day. So this pod on its own has electric charge for a day. That's good. How much electric charge do you have? 45,000 is it? Okay, that's a lot of electric charge. Okay, so fuel cells would help that a lot. And you know, a day and a half of water, oxygen, stuff like that. Okay, I don't really use mercury. I tend to jump it. In the British series, I jumped mercury quite considerably, and it just went straight to capsules in the Gemini form. Oh look, Krasnova is loving it. She's currently weightless. She's weightless. First weightless person. I do want to check whether I can EVA, but I don't think it's a good idea. Right, we're going to speed on through the atmosphere. There we go. Right. So the vessel weighs about a ton. This structure weighs a ton. We do not have our retro pack on, and I don't think we're going to use a retro pack because the upper stage of our vehicle, our launch vehicle, actually has that built in the fact that it's got RCS built in. If we strip that out, and if we're doing this, we're trying to lighten it, maybe that would be an idea, but I'm not sure. So there you go. We've not gone far actually. We've gone up, and yeah, coming straight back down. Now the interesting thing will be, does this thing orientate itself properly? That's going to be interesting because it's currently coming down without any atmosphere really. It's very thin. And it's not currently changing its orientation. That's going to be interesting. All right, here we go. We're changing now. We're rolling. We're rolling as we hit atmosphere. Okay. We're not rolling. Here we go. That's it. Nice. Nice. Okie doke. Right, so it's definitely doing something. It's grabbing at the atmosphere now. We were only doing sort of 200 meters per second, 2,000 meters, 2,000 meters per second. The interesting thing will be the G that this gets, because this may be the highest G. If we'd have gone straight up and straight down, it would have had very high G. This should be sort of part way there. You can see the G is building up now because we're starting to slow down. I suppose I should really, activate the RCS and do that, but I don't know why I would do it. Oh. Does it? Oh, it does actually do roll. Yeah, that's good. So we can you can do that. You can put the window away from it. That'll be the craft exploding behind us. There we go. Do that. Get that up there. So we can. Oh, this is nice. I quite like this RCS actually. I quite like a built-in. So this is very much like the way I designed. It's very much like the way I designed the Faraday in my British series actually, but the Faraday had its roll up here instead. That's interesting. I never knew that the Mercury actually had RCS just at the bottom like that. I always thought it was part of the upper section, but that's interesting. Right, and we've slowed down significantly. That's a lovely little slow down procedure. 100 meters per second, well 160 meters per second coming down. I'm not sure when this parachute is supposed to trigger. I'm imagining it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Soon would be nice. The drogue chute should obviously go when it's ready. We've actually activated it twice. We've pushed it and then pulled it and whatnot. Do I need to press anything else? Nope. Everything seems to be okay. Obviously, this has got the parachute built into it, I believe. The Gemini module, I think you have to put the parachutes on separately. So when's this going to trigger? It's going to be 5,000? Ah, there we go. So that's the drogue. Okay. That's the little drogue. That's gone. It's still firing now. Good. So it's opened up. It's pulled us down to a nice, sensible speed. Oh, that's lovely. That is good. We'll actually do this. I don't need to worry too much about anything else now. And we can speed this up. So we're going to just towards the ground. It's going to be, you know what, this might be a really long episode just because you're watching this come down. So we've got the drogue on. Well, that could so the main chute fires first, Does the drogue have an auto cut altitude? That'd be interesting. I don't know, because you can't see it in real shoots. So let's go a bit further down. So go on, speed up, go further down. So when does the main chute open? That's the question. This is very low actually. Could be like the last 100 meters even. Oh, there we go. So that's gone. So that's the main chute open. That's a really nice looking parachute actually. Let's actually do this. So that must be like 750 then. It must be 750 to 1000. And then we've still got that little drogue chute in there. So was that the case? I can't remember if Mercury did that. That's interesting. I wonder if the videos show that. Maybe they do. I feel as though the drogue chute would actually be to one side, like over here somewhere, and it would be sort of tattery by now. I don't know. Right. So we're going to come down. So as we splash on down, and Krasnova is going to be the first Kerbal to have visited space. She's not orbited, but she has visited. So from me, until next time, have a great one.